Hey guys, here's your guys' notes on least common denominator. All right, you guys. So learning goal is students will be able to find the least common denominator of expressions. All right. So finding the least common denominator. So when you add or subtract fractions, you begin by finding a common denominator. This is what you must do when you add or subtract rational expressions. We seek the least common denominator, LCD, because this produces the easiest calculations. You can add or subtract rational expressions only when you have a common denominator. Here's the least common denominator, LCD, of a collection of denominators is the smallest expression that is divisible by each of the given denominators. This is equivalent to saying that the least common denominator is the least common multiple. LCM of all denominators in the collection. So there's just some background right there, you guys, on why the least common denominator is so important, because it helps us to find a denominator so that it's the least one of expression, which produces easier calculations. So here are the steps to find your guys' least common denominator of rational expressions. Number one, factor each denominator completely. Any factors that occur more than once should be expressed as powers. For example, x minus 3 times x minus 3, that should be expressed as x minus 3 to the second power. Step number two, list all different factors other than one that appear in any of the denominators. When the same factor appears in more than one denominator, write that factor with the highest power that appears. And step number three, the least common denominator is the product of all the factors listed in step number 2. So here are some examples, you guys, to find the least common denominator. So for example 1, the denominator for that one, you guys, is 5, and this one's y. These are completely different factors or denominators, right? So the LCD is we just multiply these two together. 5 times y is 5y. Okay? Not too bad. Now example 2. Now this is the interesting about these two, you guys. Notice that they both share an x, right? They both have an x factor in common. And when you guys read this part says when the same factor appears in more than one denominator. So for our case, it's x. Write that factor with the highest power that appears. So when we take a look at this, you guys, the common factor between these two denominators is x. So, because they have a common factor, which one has the highest power? Because that's the one that's going to be part of our LCD. So our LCD is 7 times, between these two, this is the highest power. So it's going to be x to the second. You only find the highest power, you guys, when both denominators share the same factor. And in this case, they share the same common factor of x, so take the one that's higher, x squared. Let's try 18. First, let's find out what the factors of both these numbers are, right? Do a prime factorization tree. 9 times 2 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 3 is 9. So for 18, you guys, we have a 2, and we have 2 3s, so that's going to be 3 to the second power, times x to the third times y. For this one, there are 3 3s, you guys, so that's going to be 3 to the third times x squared times y to the third. Okay, so now let's find our LCD. Okay, this one has a 2. This one does not, so that means we just drop down the 2. Both of these have a 3, so now you compare which one has the highest power, because that one will be our part of our LCD. This one's a higher power, so we're going to times this by 3 to the third. They both share an x, so which one of these has a higher power? This one does, x to the third. And they both share a y factor, you guys, so this is the one that's higher, y to the third. So when you guys multiply all these out, 3 to the third, you guys, is 3 times 3 times 3 for 27. 27 times 2, 54. and then x to the third, y to the third. So there's that one. Example 4. Now both of these, you guys, are completely different factors, which means since they're different, we just add them to our, or they're part of our LCD. Just multiply them together. X times x plus 3. And you guys keep it like that. You keep it just like so. Okay, example 5. Now both of these, you can factor out both of them. You can factor both of them. From here, you guys can factor out a 3x to get x minus 2. From here, you guys, again, this is your guys' x method, right? Negative 2 times negative 2 gives you guys a positive 4. Negative 2 plus negative 2 gives you guys negative 4. So x minus 2 times x minus 2. And because these are the same, you guys, we can rewrite this as x minus 2 squared. Now let's find the LCD. 3x does not share in common with this, so we can just drop that down to be a part of the LCD. Now, they both have factors of x minus 2, so which one is bigger? This one. So this is going to be x minus 2 squared. And that's your guys' LCD, least common denominator between the two. So, this messed up for me, you guys, but you guys should definitely try this out and see how you guys do. And the notes printed out, these are written correctly, but this got all haywired. But you guys should definitely pause the video and try these out to see how you guys do, and then play the video when you guys are ready. Okay, so hopefully you guys pause the video to try this out on your own. So for this one, you guys, now notice, you guys, these are all different factors, right? And as a result, since all of these are different factors, we just multiply all these together. 5 times 7 is 35. X times y, just xy. 35 xy. Just multiply them all together. Number 2. Okay, so we got to break the 64 down. Do a factorization tree, right? Prime factorization tree, and do the same thing for 27, you guys. Alright, now notice for the 64, you guys, there are 6 2's. So this is going to be 2 to the 6, x to the 5th times y. This one, you guys, is going to be 3 to the 3rd times x squared times y to the 3rd. So, LCD. Now, this is the only one that has 2 to the 6. We drop that down. This is the only one that has a factor of 3, so drop that down. Now, they both share an x, so take the highest power, x to the 5th. They both have a y, take the highest power. And then you guys multiply all this out. 2 to the 6 times 3 to the 3rd, 3 to the 3rd, you guys, is 1728. X to the 5th, y to the 3rd. Okay. Number 3. Alright, both of these, you guys, are factoring when a is equals to 1. What two things multiply to 12, but when added gives you guys 4? That's 4 times 3. What two things multiply to 6, but when added gives you guys 5? That's 2 times 3. So we got factors of x plus 4 times x plus 3 here, and factors of x plus 2 times x plus 3 here. Now, this is what you guys do. Do your LCD. Okay, first off, you guys, this is the only x plus 4, so we drop that down. This is the only x plus 2 amongst these two denominators, so we drop that down, so multiply them together. Now, do you guys see x plus 3 and x plus 3? These are the same, right? So they equal in degree. The common error with this, you guys, is a lot of students like to write x plus 3 squared. But you guys do not multiply these together. Since they both have their equal in power, you just take then one of them. You just take one of them. So it's just going to be x plus 3. No second power, just x plus 3. And that is going to be your guys' LCD. So make sure you guys write your scale of 1 to 5 in terms of your understanding. 5 means you understand and 1 means not so much, right? And then make sure you guys write your exit ticket summary. So hopefully this makes sense, and you guys could hopefully do your homework assignment after this, right? All right. Good luck, you guys. Peace.